And by the way, the line, we'll talk about it. To put the bunny.
Oh, yeah.
It was in the fucking movie.
The movie starts up and it's Con Air. I'm like, I nailed it.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to a new episode of Mostly Wrong Opinions. I'm Tyrone. That is Devin. Wait! Before we go on, please do us a favor. Click the subscribe button right there to the left before it blows up. Here it comes. Say goodbye. You gotta put exposure.
It's gonna blow.
We are reviewing today The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, starring Nick Cage.
What's the worry here, Nick? You've lost some of your talent as an actor?
No.
This movie took me by surprise, man, because I was ready to just crap on this film because of the fact of the matter is, it's like, I love Nick Cage, and my perception of Nick Cage is he takes himself serious. So if I thought that this film was going to go down that road, I would be like, what is this? I don't understand this. But the fact that this is such a big parody upon his life, I'm like, bring it on.
See, I'm not sure if I love Nick Cage. There are Nick Cage movies that I do love, like Face Off, my favorite movies ever. But I certainly Face Off. But certainly, like now, I feel like if I see a Nick Cage movie, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be like a B movie. I'm good. I don't want to see it.
We did our review for Pig, and that was very surprising.
Exactly, and that's kind of the point of this whole movie, in that everyone seems to think of Nick Cage as kind of like this B-movie actor, so he's getting passed up for roles, and he, at least this version of Nick Cage, takes himself very seriously. He thinks he's an artiste, you know? And that's pretty much where this movie starts. Nick Cage gets turned down for a role, and the only thing he can get is this stupid birthday party. And he's like, what the heck? So he's like, F it, I need it. I need to do something, anything. After this, retiring. I'm done with acting. But this birthday party is totally different than he expects. It's not for like a little kid or something. It's for like a drug lord or something like, or human trafficker. Yeah.
Here comes Pedro Pascal.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed him a lot in this film.
Yeah, he was really good.
I was cracking up so hard at him because Pedro Pascal gives out this energy of, you know, like a bad guy, like you would see in the drug lord, you know, and stuff. But all he is a cinephile.
Right. He's kind of, you know, I never really picked up this badass thing, and he just kind of
came off. You didn't pick that up?
He came off very childlike. Like
I mean, he did, but I'm talking about his look, not when he opened his mouth. It's just his look, his look that he has.
Yeah, to me, he came off very childlike and kind of wide-eyed, like he's still like a little boy, but in like a 45-year-old man's body, you know?
Yeah.
And he's still talking about the movies from his childhood. He just loves Nick Cage films. And now that he's a rich man, he can fly Nick Cage straight to his compound to celebrate his birthday with him. And of course, Nick Cage gets tapped by were they the CIA? I don't know what they were.
They were CIA, yeah.
They were CIA? Okay, he gets tapped by the CIA, and they're like, hey, you need to help us rescue this little girl because we think little girl's on the compound, on and on and on and on. And what's interesting, though, is that sounds very simple, because it is simple, but something unexpected to me, at least for me anyway, happened. And that this movie was actually kind of a romance almost. It was like Nick Cage and Pedro Pascal's
it's like a bromance
relationship. Like they really genuinely enjoyed each other. They like talking to each other, and this was set up pretty good early on. Where Nick Cage, all he wants to do is talk about movies, not necessarily his movies, just movies.
Movies.
Like he wants to be on Mostly Wrong Opinions, but no one wants to hear him talk about movies except for Pedro Pascal. Pedro Pascal is like, oh yeah, I love that movie. You know this movie? I love that movie. You know this movie? And they really like enjoy each other's company, and
just bonded.
And I bought that. I bought that these two guys liked each other. Pedro Pascal and Nicolas Cage had really good chemistry with one another.
This is gonna be a little slight spoilers here for this film. This chick is sitting down with her boyfriend. They're watching our last week episode, Con Air.
The movie opens up Con Air.
I need you in my arms, need you to hold.
Hello, Cameron.
This girl is a total fan of Nick Cage too, but all of a sudden, these dudes break in, knock her boyfriend out, ow, motherfucker, and then kidnaps her.
Right.
And while this is happening, the song is playing. How do I live?
How do I live without you? I want to know.
Very much like Con Air, where they really didn't care. They just kind of wanted Nick Cage on a plane, you know. This one, they wanted Nick Cage on the island with the drug lord. And so all that stuff is hand-waved so fast.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, the girl who's kidnapped, she drops out of the movie until the very end, right? So we're never really concerned about her well-being or what she's doing. The movie doesn't care. All it wants is Nick Cage becoming best friends with a drug lord. And that works. It works really well.
I kind of feel like I enjoyed the film, in my opinion. I enjoyed the film when there was nothing dealing with the CIA.
Yeah,
they weren't
there.
Yeah,
I agree.
You
I
know,
agree. When the plot wasn't going. It's when the best parts of the film, right?
When it was just the whole thing about these two dudes hanging out, having fun, because Pedro Pascal's character wanted to sell him a script that he made, and throughout the film, they were also talking about what they want to do when it comes to making a script together. And it was basically making this film.
Yeah, exactly. So the movie kind of starts to like melt a little bit, and you start to realize that they're like, so Pedro Pascal and Nick Cage, they finally get around to the meat of it. Why Pedro Pascal wanted him there? He wanted to have a movie starring his favorite actor ever. So he wants Nick Cage to read this script, which of course Nick Cage apparently does not like reading scripts from just random people. Who could blame him? Yeah. But they became good friends, and he's like, "Oh, read this script." And so as they read the script, they keep modifying it, and you can tell the modifications are turning into this movie. You know, so it's like oh, I see. It's almost like its own like making of movie, you know what I mean? So it's pretty funny.
Like I said, I didn't think I was gonna enjoy this film. He brought out some of his different accents,
right,
in this film, where he had to impersonate a particular politician in their country,
right.
And that was that was funny. He was like walking and stuff.
Right, yeah, that was pretty funny. But you know, one of the things, the knocks about the film is, while the movie was like, I got the jokes, the movie was like I call it a chuckle fest, where you just go.
So you think that some of the jokes didn't even land that hard?
It was funny,
Man.
but it wasn't like I was not sitting there like laughing. I wasn't doing any of that. I was just like,
bro, I laughed out hard a couple times.
Good.
And it's because of that. Well, because I'm goofy, you know me.
I feel like I got the jokes, and I'm like, I get it. I get the joke. Yep.
You're like, move on, and then even that silence makes me laugh. So
I think I liked the concept of this movie. I liked seeing Nick Cage play this character, which is not really himself, and I liked seeing Nick Cage's younger version of himself, which he called Nicky. I thought he was Nicky. He was really funny. He was the funniest part of the film to me. But everything else to me was just like, okay.
But here's the thing that the screenwriters did when it came to Nicky. I think the screenwriters wrote Nicky in there as the perception of what the real world, our world perception of what we feel that Nick Cage is.
That's interesting. Yeah, because the movie seems to make it seem as if this is Nick Cage's true inner self. Like, his true inner self is much younger, with longer hair and wackier and louder, you know, and he looks like he's even more successful, right? But maybe it's because like his younger self is like in his like the height of his like fame. So I thought he was really funny, and I was kind of surprised because I thought the whole movie would be Nick Cage doing essentially this Nicky character, right? But it's actually not. He's a lot more subdued than I thought he'd be, which I think worked really good for the movie.
They pulled it off, man. They pulled it off, and Pedro Pascal did an excellent job. Everyone here was good. You know, the only thing I could take points away is really like the whole CIA thing.
Oh, okay.
You know, let's go ahead and get to the rating, man.
Mm-hmm.
With all the things that have been said here, I'm gonna have to give this film an 8 out of 10.
8? Okay, cool. I think an 8's respectable. I'm giving this one a 7. I thought it was good. I do recommend it for people because it's a very light movie, you know, and it is funny. And you don't have to know every Nick Cage movie to get the
just
jokes.
the important ones that's there. It will show you.
Even if it'll explain things to you before it hits the joke, right? So
Right.
like they set up Nick Cage's dragon guns from Face Off, right?
Yeah.
So instead of him just pulling out the guns, expecting you to know what they are, they kind of explain to you what they are, what movie they come from, all that stuff. So you don't really need to know Nick Cage's like filmography or anything like that, which I thought was really good and made this movie a lot more accessible. So I do recommend it.
And I also recommend it. I gave this film an 8. Devin gave this film a 7. It is in theaters right now. Go check out The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
I'm Nick. Whoa, Cage!
Thank you for clicking on this video, man. We have been climbing up to the stars with our subscriber count. All right, I know that
It's the harmonizing. That's why everyone's here to hear you sing. Beautiful. You gotta put one
Okay.
hand. You gotta put one hand against your ear. You know.
To the stars. Okay, with our subscriber count, please do us a favor. Hit that subscribe button. It really does help us out. And if you like this review, hit the thumbs up. It really does help out the channel. Or you can put your thumbs down and you can be like, Tom Cruise is better than Nick Cage. All right? That is your opinion. But just remember one thing, people. It's mostly wrong. See you in another video. Haha. Nick Cage. Nick freaking.
Yo, whoa, Cage.